There's a piece of advice that we hear all the time: just walk in there confidently. But I've spent years on stages watching how people actually hold attention. And confidence isn't what makes someone captivating. In fact, some of the most confident people you'll ever meet still struggle to command a room. And sometimes their uber confidence is actually a bit of a turnoff. The real skill is something else. And once you see it, you'll start noticing it everywhere. Welcome to Star Potential, the podcast for curious, soul led humans who know there's more available. They want to explore it with depth, joy, and a little play. Here, we talk about reclaiming your authentic voice, shedding old identities, and expanding into who you're becoming without taking yourself too seriously. I'm your host, Julie Jo Hughes. Let's get curious, let it be fun, and see what ignites. Welcome back to Star Potential. I'm your host, Julie Jo. Today, we're talking about what makes someone magnetic, captivating. What is the difference between two people giving a speech, a presentation, or even a performance on stage? What is the difference that absolutely captivates your attention and makes you say, I cannot look away? There's something about their being that just absolutely pulls me in. It's not confidence. Confidence is an internal state of being. What draws you in is their presence. Presence is what other people experience from you. What I've learned over my 30 plus years of performing on stages is that it actually isn't about how well you know the material, how many times you've rehearsed it, how confident you are in your own skin. Those things all play a part, yes. But two people can walk in and deliver the same thing, and the one who really grabs you, the one who really has that it factor, that there's just something about them. They have that stage presence, right? It's something that can be learned. I truly believe that some of us have it naturally, but I've been able to pinpoint and to name, okay, these are some of the things that actually make a person magnetic. And you guessed it, most of it has to do with what's happening internally, but those things can be adjusted externally. You've heard the saying, fake it till you make it. The thing is, this can apply in so many areas in life, but when we're learning something new is a time when I often will hang on to this phrase, fake it till you make it, because sometimes you need the experience of feeling what something is like. You might have to use sort of a synthetic way of getting there. And once you know what that feeling is, then we can kind of work backwards over time and you'll learn how to embody that naturally and without effort. It over time can become natural to you as well. A lot of times it is something physical or external, but the difference between someone with presence and not is that they are bringing their body, their voice, and their energy all into the room in that present moment with whatever is going on right then. Here's an example from a performance perspective. The difference between watching a really captivating actor and one who's just good is that they are responding to whatever the moment is offering them. So, this comes back to a lot of the work that we talk about here on how to get the most out of your life experience, on how to get the most out of your relationships. It's responding to what's actually happening, not to what your brain is predicting is going to happen. And this is huge when it comes to actors because you can have all the lines memorized, you can have all your blocking perfected. That's where you're supposed to go to on stage. We have like certain markers and things that's called blocking. And if you nail all of that, sure, it's a good performance. But what takes it to the next level is if you can respond to whatever is given. So maybe that night, your scene partner comes with a little bit of nuance. There's a little bit of a different color, a different flavor in something that they say to you when they deliver the exact same line that they've delivered every other night. If you respond in truth to whatever was just given to you, the energy of that entire moment, that entire scene has just elevated from a 7 to a 10 because the audience, even if they can't describe what it is, they can feel that energetic truth in what's happening in the moment, even if the lines and the blocking don't change. Now, as someone who has performed as a wedding singer for hundreds of weddings, I've probably witnessed upwards of 300 or 400 best man speeches and the maid of honor speeches at weddings. Most people think what gives a perfect speech is humor and having the perfect words to say and having like some kind of special or tearful moment written in there as well. But what often happens is they step up to the mic. I don't care how nervous they are. That takes nothing away from your magnetism. Just so you know, people think it's the most confident person, the most confident delivery that really nails a speech. Has nothing to do with it. In fact, the most magnetic thing you can do sometimes is naming how nervous you are. The person that steps up to the mic and says, "Whew, my legs are shaking more than I expected," you've already got us in the palm of your hand. You don't realize it's like that, but what's magnetic is what's true. That's what's captivating. And when someone names that right off the bat, now I'm not saying you should name that if you're not nervous, because again, that's not truth. So that wouldn't be what you'd want to name. But what often happens is people stare at their notes the whole time. They're not connecting with the bride and groom that they're delivering this heartfelt speech to. And these days, unfortunately, a lot of times I'm seeing people deliver something straight out of their AI assistant. Ugh, you can feel it immediately. I'm going to give you a good word of advice. If you're going to run something through AI, at least have it be from the voice of your heart first. If you want a little help with like making it more concise or a little more punchy, then ask your AI specifically to help you with that, not to write the speech for you, because especially those of us who do a lot of work with AI, we can spot that and feel that from a mile away if you didn't actually write the speech, and it hits different. Another thing that people do is they're rushing through because they're nervous. These are little things that we can tweak. A lot of it is just nervous system regulation. It's taking a deep breath right before you start to let your system know, even though you're feeling scared and nervous, you're safe in this moment. That can make such a huge difference. So, again, that's not about confidence. It's about being present with what is. When you acknowledge that your body is feeling nervous, your body immediately starts calming down because it says, "Okay, thank you for noticing. I just wasn't sure you knew, and I was trying to protect you. I'm trying to let you know how scary this is. You might really embarrass yourself, and I want you to know that." So the minute you listen to that voice and say, "Thank you, I really appreciate you letting me know how concerned you are, that I might do something to really embarrass myself here. And I hear you." That is a real possibility. but we're going to be okay. Already, you have acknowledged what's true. You're already that much closer to having that captivating presence that you really are after, not the confidence. It actually doesn't matter if you feel confident about the speech or not. And one of the biggest ones for me is listening to an amazing speech, which I can tell was written from the heart. It was written from real stories of their childhood together, real moments that person wanted to convey how special this friendship is and how much this person means to them. The writing is fantastic. Unfortunately, when the nerves are allowed to take over, sometimes all they're focused on is reading through it, getting it over with. And I didn't actually feel any of the feeling that went into the words that you wrote when you wrote them. So, somebody who just grabbed the microphone with no plan and spoke from his heart actually has captivated my attention and made me lean in so much more than the person who had the amazing, heartfelt written speech that was delivered totally disconnected from those feelings. And so I didn't actually feel any of them. And here's a secret key to delivering any kind of presentation or performance. Before you do it, you must connect to your joy. Find the joy in what you're presenting, because if you don't, that is the quickest way for that presentation to fall flat. When I watch someone perform on stage, it doesn't matter if the notes are perfect, the execution is perfect. What draws you in to someone performing something is that they are exuding joy. One of the best compliments I receive after a show is, "You guys look like you're having so much fun up here. I just love watching you dance. You make me want to dance." That is such a compliment because I know that it's coming from my joy in expressing what I'm doing, and that joy is infectious. And other people say, I want to experience that kind of joy too. I recognize that joy. I know what that is. And I want to have that feeling right now too. Maybe I want to get up and dance because that looks like so much fun. That's what translates. That's what makes you magnetic. That's what people can't take their eyes off of. When you are so internally lit up from that fire that is going within you that says, I am so excited to be able to do this. I have so much gratitude for this opportunity right now to perform this song, to say this speech to my best friend on his wedding day, to give this closing argument to this jury, which is potentially going to save this person from a life in prison. I don't care what the performance is. When you bring your gratitude and joy to that presentation, it changes everything. People cannot look away. You go from being good to captivating. And your audience may not be able to name what it is exactly, but they know they're just drawn to you like a moth to a flame. When I was a new mom, I had he was a baby or toddler at the time, and I had a full performing career. One of my fellow musicians, keyboard player, came to me and said, "Can you fill in for me this week? I have this regular voice student. She takes voice and piano from me. She's got a big audition this week, but I don't have space for her. Can you fill in for me?" And I said, "Oh, I don't give voice lessons. I've never done that. It's just not my thing. I saw myself as a performer rather than a teacher." And he said, "Well, you don't even have to teach her anything. She just really wants to make sure that her audition is on point. She's trying out for her school musical this week." And I said, okay, I could probably do that. And so I lived in Queens and I took the train into Manhattan and I went to this girl's home. And in 1 hour, it was so much fun. We took this girl from a 7 to a 10. And that was my first time of really experiencing that you can have all the words down. You can be nailing the notes. Technically, she was doing great. There were some little tweaks we could make, yes. But the presentation of the audition itself had a few places where I'm not going to say it was lacking, but I knew that we could strengthen it and make it so much stronger. And in that 1 hour, we took this girl from, I feel pretty good about my audition, I think I'm good, to, oh, wow, I didn't know it could feel like that. That's the difference between confidence and presence. And that's how I know it's possible for others. That's how I know it can be taught. There are little tweaks and tips you can do that to some of us natural performers, it's so obvious. But if you haven't spent your life experiencing stages and audiences and things, it might not come second nature to you. And because of this is something that I'm offering. If you have an upcoming presentation or a speech or a performance or maybe an idea that you're pitching to the boardroom, I offer something called the Star Power Hour, where you bring me your presentation and I'll take you from good to captivating. We're going to make your performance something extraordinary because you are already a star. Sometimes you just need a little help buffing your edges to let you shine. That's what I help people do. I unlock the brilliance that's already there. You just needed a little bit of help stepping into it because I find that everyone has star potential, but most people don't really know how to access it. So as you go throughout your week, this week, I want you to notice the places where you feel that you're lacking confidence. And I want you to ask yourself, can I bring more presence to this experience? Can I bring my body fully into this experience, my voice fully into this moment? Can I bring the fullness of my gratitude and energy for being right here, right now, into this very experience? Try it. Notice what shifts for you. Because once you understand where this presence comes from, you'll begin to start applying it in all these areas of your life. Life is so much fun, unscripted. You don't need a better script. You need more presence. And when you have that, everything just gets richer, deeper, more meaningful. It's so much fun. Until next time, Starlight, keep expanding, keep shining your light wherever you go, no matter how confident you feel. And if you'd like to book a session with me, I'll be releasing more details on that soon, or you can DM me on Instagram, and I'll have a special discount code for you when you mention that you heard about the Star Power Hour first here on the podcast. Have a great week, and see you next time. If something in this episode lit you up or sparked a little curiosity, you might be in the middle of a soul shift of your own. I created a free quiz called Are You in a Soul Shift? To help you explore where you are and what's opening next. Just go to juliejohughes.com/quiz or find the link in the show notes. And if you're enjoying the show, would you please leave a quick rating or review? It helps create a ripple to reach other curious souls. Until next time, stay curious and let yourself play.